So we've made it all the way through vocals, overall setup, drums, bass, guitars, track. Um, the keyboards, we don't really worry about those. I don't do a whole lot to them. They're in the mix, and we focus on getting a good keyboard sound from the source rather than from me processing it. And so now we're on to room mics and effects. We have two AKG room mics. They're pencil condensers, and we just have them set up on either side of the stage. And these are elevated on the stage. They're over top of the audience, and we have this little tiny pocket of EQ that we use on these room mics. So we cut pretty much everything above 1K and then below 300, and then a huge like smiley face curve in the middle around 500. So it kind of looks like that, and it's a really, really narrow pocket that we use on these room mics because we don't want them to get in the way, but we do want to be able to hear the crowd and have it feel live. So those are always turned up, whether it's in the sermon or in the music section. We always have the room mics turned up to a pretty loud volume. And then we have effects. I showed you guys the vocal effects earlier and the drum mic effects. Um, and that is all that we use. So because of the way we have it ran, we can't use mix buses on Pro Tools. Normally, I would be running like 4 or 5 different kinds of delays and mixing those in as I needed to, 4 or 5 different reverbs, some enhancers, some parallel compression, that kind of stuff. But on here, the way we have it set up, it's very limited on what we can do. Speaking of limited, wow, that was a really bad transition. But speaking of limited, let's talk about our master chain and our limiter. So on the X32, I just use the master bus out, and I throw a little bit of EQ on it. So I cut at 20K, or sorry, I cut at 20 hertz on the low end. I do a high pass filter at 20 hertz. I take a little bit out at 500, and then I do an overall shelf starting at 3K. Very, very subtle. Nothing boosted like crazy like I have been on all the other instruments. This is just really subtle stuff to kind of enhance and shape and mold the overall mix. We do a little bit of mix bus compression with just the channel strip compressor from the X32. We do about 3 decibels of overall compression with a really slow um, release time and a really fast attack time. So fast release or fast attack, slow release. And we're doing that at about a ratio of 2 to 1. So a ratio of two, a fast attack, slow release, about 3 decibels of gain reduction on the overall mix, which is then sent into the precision limiter, which is built into the X32. If there was one complaint that I had about the X32, it's that I absolutely 100% with everything in me hate this precision limiter. I'm used to either using an L2 maximizer or the Slate. I use this one more commonly, the Slate FG X. It's the best mix bus compressor slash limiter that I've ever heard, and I really miss being able to use it. But this limiter will do the job. We do about 6 decibels of gain reduction on the limiter. It's pretty transparent though. We use once again we use a slow release and a fast attack. We want it to be as transparent as possible. So fast attack, slow release, and we just get it to a good competitive volume, which is then sent to our switcher and matched up with the video. So I hope that was helpful. We don't use a ton of effects in mixed bus processing, like I said, but we do use some. And if you have any questions on that, please let me know.